the last competitions, for the last games we made me. In fact, so we'll check it in the history of the English Premiership. Now say opese o kasa de fa some of the teams are omutimi back into the English Premiership in their first 6 matches. Omutimi bomb home a year. Sunderland currently as we speak are 11 points, but then after 6 matches now, he has been able to come third on that particular history. So we'll check it in Blackburn 1992 to 1993, that particular season. They had close to about 14 points. Nottingham Forest in 1993-1994, after 6 games, they had 14 points. As far as Sunderland, in the 2025-2026 season, so 2026 season, in the last 6 matches of Metimi Abono, they have 11 points. Hull City, 208-209, they got 11 points. West Ham, 205-206, they got 11 points. Bolton, also 201-202, they got 11 points. So telling you, say, baby and Sunderland, Gina Siciano, they've been able to have a collective team which is actually steering on a particular manner, ABOU, the side of Sunderland on that particular side. But one particular signing to me, be who say is still some of the show in the English Premiership this particular season has been Granit Xhaka. That kind of sign the free buy for Leverkusen back into the English Premiership. DIABY, this has been a particular player. The days with Arsenal, he plays so well in the midfield for Arsenal Football Club to the extent that I will check some of the midfielders are more partnered with Granit Xhaka in the midfield for Arsenal Football Club. There were many. But Obian Granit Xhaka when he was playing alongside Ghanaian man called Thomas Partey in the midfield for Arsenal Football Club. At that particular material moment in time, near he been used as a traditional number 8. And I'm clear Teta making sure so be free up. Then Thomas Partey will occupy the central midfield of Arsenal, then allow Granit Xhaka to be more offensive player, trying as much as possible to obey neutralize grounds, and then he will become the offensive pivot in the central midfield of Arsenal. And in that first season, with Arsenal for so many years after Arsene Wenger, Arsenal 82nd, Granit Xhaka was part of that particular squad. The second season, he was part of that particular squad on Moody second. After that season, so be free Arsenal Football Club, then he actually decided to buy ABOU for Leverkusen. And when he went to buy ABOU for Leverkusen, one material because free Arsenal was about trophies. And all buy ABOU for Leverkusen, most of us thought that why say free Arsenal won't even trophies. And then buy ABOU for Leverkusen with a couple of so many years, or the Bundesliga, and but when he went there, in his first debut season for the side of ABOU for Leverkusen, under Xabi Alonso watch, he was able to win the Bundesliga, making sure that in the domestic league they went unbeaten. His close relationship, and that's his close compatibility play with the side of Palacios and other midfielders or ultimate partner in that particular midfield, it helped the side of ABOU for Leverkusen to achieve that maximum fact for the side of Granit Xhaka. From ABOU for Leverkusen, say free are returning into the English Premiership. It shouldn't be Sunderland, but then he has come into a particular football club in the last couple of matches that they've played. In terms of starter, the Papa friend said Granit Xhaka, Ediama Sunderland has been tremendous. 33-year-old man a KBF and said if you any man can midfield a KB and a money everything a drop that has been the material moment, the performance and how he has been able to remain consistent, especially in the midfield for the side of Sunderland has been so much for this particular football club in the last couple of games. We see a kind of more. He has given them 3 assists, which is quite good in this particular season. Making sure say on team go farm, but the assist and how he has been able to be tremendous in the midfield says it all. But the picture be production. So meet him there to so Eddie Amamia. Say omune to so Amamia can make sure quite of far so blocking most of the passes ranges when they were playing against Nottingham Forest. And it was very good for them. There been way. My picture na ujinem finfi I'm talking about the tactical picture. So, unya that particular picture has. So, this is the first picture. So, we'll check the first picture. The first picture and something about the second picture now. So, unya this particular first picture now. Now, it got a particular movement. And now we'll check the kind of possession runs are. Now, Nottingham Forest a placing in the midfield as against Sunderland Football Club. They were having close to about 60% in terms of ball possession as against 40% of ball possession. Sorry, Sunderland for air ball in the midfield of that particular match. And Nipa know a lot of, neutralization. A lot of distraction in the midfield for Sunderland was a certain Granit Xhaka. So we'll check the picture there, that's now. You get to understand, say Anderson as a midfielder for Nottingham Forest was trying to place a true ball into the attacking third of the side of, Sunderland Wankasa have, or the defensive structure of Sunderland Wankasa have. Check it, baby, and Granit Xhaka Ejina. Now check it, the Patrick Famekos, the second picture, and I'm sure, my dear. Now, baby, a Xhaka Ejina, no, any baby will tell me, and making sure so baby will recover ball, no, right from Anderson passer, no, delocated the attacker into the attacking third of Nottingham Forest or Wankasa have, no, tells you, say, Granit Xhaka has become that kind of midfielder. He has become a stampede and he has become a destructor. That kind of midfield, more than neutralization grounds for them in that particular midfield. And it tells you, say, with a quite number of matches, no making sure, say, in that same game, Obama that assist for them to win over Nottingham Forest, no, it tells you, say, he has been doing very well. So the one call in the next picture, he could tell you, say, in this particular season, Sawope midfielder, the defensive street are very good for his club. It has been the side for Granit Xhaka. And so check him up now, Patrick, my map now. So check him up now, that's now. He was giving them the kind of, defensive street and not Oyusu, and them at the side of Sunderland. of the side of Sunderland. Yes, when I make him once him now. Now, so we'll check this particular map. Abu had here. Check it, baby, Ujinano. He's not a defender. But then he makes sure that the defensive duties of Sunderland will be secured. Enough for him. He is being played as a deep line playmaker, but sometimes he comes in as a hybrid midfielder just to defend as well for the Sunderland team. Because Sunderland identity is a low block system. And low block, you're defending more in numbers. They throw more men at front. You're making sure say you be secure in counter-attacking system of football for that particular football club. And so I will check him out on that now. He has been very consistent in defending for the side of Sunderland in most of the competition, in most of the matches are Wabo Edema this particular football club. And it tells you say in the midfield, Sewunya Sadiki, Sewunya Rex Mu in Finfiho. Na Sewunya Granit Xhaka won Finfiho. He makes sure say he defends so well. No one making the side of Sadiki and then Rex for them to play out wide in offensive manner for Sunderland this particular season in the midfield of that particular football club. But I want to check him up now. Map in terms of successive long balls, Aubenya, Ediama, most of these English Premiership clubs, 29 successive long balls in the way to Miabo, Ediama, the side of Sunderland. And in most of these football clubs are Asia kind this season for the English Premiership, he has been second on that particular rank. In terms of long passes in the midfield, 47 long passes in the way Ediama, the side of Sunderland, and then he has been second on that particular rank. In terms of passes into the final third, Wamomo 61 passes into the final third, and then he has been played third on that particular rank. Successful forward passes. So Ujna, the third quarter of that particular midfield, now we generated that successive forward passes. No, he has given them 70 successive forward passes, and it's our ranking in most of the clubs are Wamomo and also Omu ranking a seat in that particular midfield this season in the English Premiership. But then one particular thing Sabiti year also for a particular midfielder is the defensive action Sabiti Ayadiama Football Club. In terms of clearances, Wamomo 26 clearances, and then in terms of Premier League club, he has been first on that particular level. So we'll check headed clearances. Why Ediama the side of Sunderland, he has made 20 headed clearances for Sunderland, and then he has been able to play first on that particular level. Area duels away Ediama Sunderland, and so a 20 first on the rank. Duels won in terms of groundwork when you're 41, and then he has been able to be placed fourth on that particular rank. In terms of interceptions, 7 interceptions. And away to me, Ayadiama Sunderland. And so we'll check the rank Ayadiama. It is fifth in this particular, Premiership in most of these clubs. So it tells you say he has been doing that. And then the long passing ranges mapper. It tells you say this guy has been doing the most. All of these balls are Unya Sunderland for air campaigning. No Mushiawa or Motete and Sana. What me show no. It is a certain Granit Xhaka in the midfield being played as a deep line playmaker who sounds born as a traditional number 8, and then they have been using him as a hybrid midfielder or supporting the midfield action for Sunderland. And it tells you, say, he has been doing something well for this particular football club. But Barca, me extended the contract of Frankie de Jong. It tells you how good Barcelona, sporting director, Deco, has been doing with the side of Frankie de Jong. This is a particular player. In the year 2019, now was a Barca for 23 AFC Ayers at the side of FC Barcelona. When he came, now was a understudy the midfield partner near Wahonum. Now making sure so breaking into the first 11 of FC Barcelona. Not that kind of ball, no boy, my Ayers, no. He will repeat that same consistent performance for Barcelona Football Club. But Obayano, the first 2 seasons, from Frankie de Jong, he had his best season the 3rd season. But after that particular 3rd season, when you a long injury, and consistent with Barcelona Football Club. It got to a particular point in time. Now Barca needed to get rid out of him with the football club because of say one, the annual salary are not all due of Barcelona or wage bills no net so. And then he wasn't giving them that kind of performance. No, when Frankie de Jong are not all Edema FC Barcelona. But this guy decided say whether Barcelona want to like it or not, some betono, some muntono, he will stay in the football club and fight for his position in the club. Last season, after say or call long break and also call long injury or coming back, now the position has been occupied by 2 La Masia players in the midfield for the side of FC Barcelona. Marc Casado and Marc Bernal, and occupied that particular position in the Barcelona team. When he came back, he was able to recover the position, and since then he has been giving Barcelona consistent number of performances, giving them outstanding performances. So the combination with Pedri and other players in the midfield for FC Barcelona, he has been giving them that good performance. And I believe say the high line pressing system, papa say Hans of Fleck or bonus here no. So we put 2 players are omutimi a lot of utilization of passes. Edema FC Barcelona in the midfield, it has been the papa reference Frankie de Jong, Eden Pedri in that particular midfield. Debi Ameka say, so we check Pedri, he give them that directional operational passes in the midfield. But this particular man called Frankie de Jong is a particular technical player or mount that kind of progressing movement in the midfield for FC Barcelona. So Barca for in most of the competitive matches. Now so per midfield obey me balancing the equation. I'm making sure so obey me exploiting passes into the attacking third. Was also progressive holding on the ball to the final third delivery. It has been Papa Frankie de Jong and the sporting director for FC Barcelona, Deco. He say at this crucial moment, he is a vital player whose services will be needed in the FC Barcelona team. And I'm very happy. Someone now say the extension of contract to 2029. I think say it will be better off for FC Barcelona.
I don't know if say we've
what's happening? Play and them now dead.